News is coming through today that the family of arguably one of Ireland's most hated men, Jozef Puska, his brothers and their wives have been found guilty of obstructing justice being served during the Ashling Murphy murder arrest. And for those maybe listening from outside of Ireland that don't know anything about this particular case, this particular young girl who was savagely murdered by Puska, a Slovakian immigrant, a waster who sponged off the state, leached off the state along with his extended family, is appealing his sentence for the brutal attack on Ashling Murphy that left her sadly dead at a very young age. His family were being tried for covering up for him. So today, brothers and their wives guilty of obstructing Ashling Murphy murder arrest. There you see it. Jozef Puska murdered Ms. Murphy by repeatedly stabbing her in the neck after attacking her along the canal towpath outside of Tullamore in County Offaly. And prior to this attack, he had been scouring the area for victims. And Ashling Murphy fell at his hands and died. Here's the family, Marek Puska and partner Josefina Grunzova. And on the right, Lubomir Puska and Viera Gaziona. Remember the old mantra, we need immigrants. We need everyone flooding into Ireland. We need them because Ireland would collapse without them. Well, I say then, if this is the case with the Puska family, let Ireland collapse. Let it collapse. Better Ireland collapses and young girls, young women remain alive than to allow, in this case, this monster Puska and his extended family to remain here. For what? What are they contributing? Just asking the question. If you have the answer, please feel free to enlighten me. A jury has convicted the two brothers of withholding crucial information from gardaí investigating the murder of schoolteacher Ashling Murphy, while the two men's wives have also been found guilty of burning their clothes in an effort to obstruct Puska's prosecution. So at least 5 of them were involved in this. Puska, age 35, murdered Ms. Murphy, 23, on the 12th of January 2022. And the mainstream media, let it also be said, were guilty of lies and spreading mis and disinformation around the facts of this. They lied and spread misinformation about how Ashling was killed. She exercised along the canal towpath outside Tullamore, County Offaly. He was later convicted of murder and is serving a life sentence. Here we have another picture of his brother and his sister-in-law, Marek Puska, and partner Josefina Grunzova, age 31, wearing a t-shirt with Queen on it. Queen? Queen of what? Queen of what? What kind of queen is she? There he is. Puska And people were actually giving this monster character reference saying, he's a good dad. He's a good dad, is Jozef. Central Criminal Court accepted prosecution's case that the brothers misled Gardaí by failing to disclose crucial and vital information when they gave statements, and their wives burned his clothes to impede his arrest or prosecution. And they're still here. They're still here. No doubt they'll be sentenced and might serve some time in prison. Maybe they'll get out on a suspended sentence. I don't know. But either way, you're listening to this and you're in Ireland, you're paying for this family and their children to remain here in Ireland and do what exactly? The 12 jurors unanimously found Puska's brothers guilty, while his sisters-in-law were found guilty by majority verdicts. All 4 family members, listen to this. Listen to this. This is against the backdrop of the Ireland housing emergency / crisis / disaster. All 4 family members were living with Jozef Puska, his wife, Lucia, and 14 children at Lynally Grove, Mucklagh, County Offaly, when the offences occurred in January 2022. 14 kids, Puska, his wife, his 2 brothers, their 2 wives. By my mathematics, that makes 20 of Puska plus his extended family, all living together in County Offaly. It was the state's case that the 2 brothers misled Gardaí and withheld crucial, relevant and significant information. And here we have another picture again. Lubomir Puska and Viera Graziona arriving at Central Criminal Court with their sunglasses on, trying to look their best for the courts. This included information. Puska returned home on the night of the murder with visible injuries, admitted killing or seriously injuring a woman with a knife, and then subsequently travelling to Dublin. And there we have the victim, Ashling Murphy. She's dead. She's dead. They're alive and living off the Irish taxpayer. They're alive and living off the Irish taxpayer. He's alive and living off the Irish taxpayer with 14 of their children. She's not. She's not. The 12 jurors at the Central Criminal Court gave their verdict in relation to the 2 brothers after deliberating for 13 hours and 40 minutes over 5 days. And then returning to the courtroom 16 minutes later to reveal the decisions against the wives of the 2 brothers. So they're awaiting sentencing. Awaiting sentencing. And when Ashling Murphy's partner spoke out against what had happened to his beloved other half, some lowlifes in the so-called legacy or mainstream media tried to twist this around to say that he was somehow a racist or that he was conflating the death of his beloved partner with Ireland's immigration problem. You tell me, was he conflating it all wrong or was he bang on the money? Either way, this is the ruling that was served today. And leave me your thoughts, comments, and opinions below as always. Share this content, cut and paste the link, drop it into a Facebook group, drop it into whatever group you like. Share it around with people. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. And this is being reported, albeit sporadically, in the so-called news today. So let's take it and amplify it. Let's take it and amplify it, that Ashling Murphy would not be forgotten. So for now, I'm Rick Munn. This is No Risk, No Reward Media. Over and out.